Bryce Corbett. Number 4, Mikey Higgins. Number 5, Marcus Hollyfield. Number 7, Logan Welker. Number 8, Gabe Hines. Number 10, Monty Walker. Number 11, Jonathan Odie. Number 13, Ian Beaver. Number 14, Lucas Hogue. Number 15, Jordan Augustus. And number 16, Lane Hendricks. And for your Covington Trojans, number 2, Carver 5. In the goal, Cole McLean. Number 5, Bryden Gaskell. Number 7, Jack Stewart. Number 8, Logan Pinkerton. Number 9, Annabelle Perez. Number 10, Rico Mandolini. Number 15, Jacob Hollycross. Number 17, Isaiah McCarty. Number 20, Bradley Lusader. And number 21, Cheyenne Haymaker.
All right, as we've heard Mr. Stockberger go over the starting lineups between the West Vigo Vikings and the Covington Trojans. Beautiful afternoon out here at the Trojan Complex. Similar starting lineup to what we started before. Trojans coming into this game 3-0. Had a really convincing win against Greencastle 3-0. Took Faith Christian 2-1 and opened the season against North Montgomery with a very convincing win. We'll just leave it at that. I'm going to try to run the camera and do a little commentary as we go. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, Craig, you mentioned that it's pretty much the same lineup. We do have one change. Leighton Wooster is out with an injury, and so Jack Stewart is starting today.
All right, Jack Stewart, part-time goalie, full-time Covington Trojan.
Yep.
Starting in the field today, which I would assume puts Cole back in the goal. Trojans are fighting for possession down here at their own end. Not a good start. Midfield recovers, though. West Vigo with the ball dribbling towards the middle of the field. No hit. Trojans are able to clear it out to the side. Throw in for West Vigo on the far side. Much farther than I can see. It'll be another Viking throw in. Trojans just content to play it out right now.
Yeah, I get the sense that the Trojans are trying to size up West Vigo right now. Just seeing what they're capable of.
That's a great point, Stock. So it's played out again. Once again, Trojans content to just play it out, reset, and try to figure this game out for the early part here. A little clear for the Trojans. Can't get to it in time. Hannibal's on that chase. Couldn't get to the sideline in time. It'll be another Viking throw-in. Looks like everybody but Pinkerton back to play defense at this point. Not going to be a lot of a break if the Trojans do get an outlet pass. It'd be pretty much Pinkerton one-on-one with whoever picks him up. They've got 4 guys back, though. It looks like they might be playing an offside trap, just as we saw against Greencastle. That remains to be seen. Annabelle pushes up with Pinkerton as the goal kick's played out.
Oh, you mentioned Greencastle, Craig. I do have a correction.
Okay.
During the Greencastle game, I mistakenly called Trace Claypool Trace McLean.
Well, I mean, honest mistake. When you've had as many students as you have, Stock, it's pretty easy to call somebody by a former student's name.
Well, I think
through ball played for the Trojans.
Our goalie at the time. Our goalie
flag
is
comes
Cole
up.
McLean plus Trace Claypool, Trace McLean.
I'm not really sure why that flag looked up. Looked pretty on to me. But once again, can't see a thing in my old age. So I'll default to the person that's closer and on ground level. Press box tonight is Mr. Stockberger, myself, and Jody Salisbury. Jody's doing the scoreboard for us again. He's been a great help throughout the past couple years. Lifetime Trojan. Should be receiving some type of award at some point. All right, and we got the Viking throw-in train going again. Throw
Jody,
it down the line.
would you rather have a plaque or a trophy? for being scorekeeper.
Had a great cross there.
All right, Jody wants a plaque.
I like it. We'll do a plaque then. Pinkerton on the push. He's got it 1-on-3, it looks like.
Pinkerton's going. Yes.
Heading down, takes the hit, just wide of the goal. Keeper, great effort by the keeper. Lays out, just outstretched his hands, just off of his fingertips.
Yeah, that was a good run.
Great run, yeah. And that's looking like the Trojan game plan early in this game. Kind of play some defense, play some midfield, and then get that outlet pass to Pinkerton or Annabelle.
If we can do that a couple more times, we're going to get some goals.
I think you might be right, Stock. Trojans will get back and turn, waiting on this goal kick. It's coming to the middle.
Oh, come on, kids.
And the 50-50 ball just bounces. No one gets
jack
it.
attack
So
right
it's a
there.
0-0 ball, I guess. Played out to the right sideline by Lusader, just a bit wide. Vikings will get the throw. Viking throw in. Played to Rico Mandolini. He's over in the middle. Played it down to Perez. Perez with the little flip towards Pinkerton. Pinkerton, another chance,
Stay with
but
it, kids.
nothing going.
And get it under control.
Perez out by the 18. Playing one-on-one game. Trying to take the ball back and gets the ball back.
Okay, Annabelle's got
Sees
it.
a shot, takes it
Wow.
to the keeper. So at least the keeper's getting a little work now. Trojans putting a little offensive effort into it. Nice little kick by the keeper out to midfield. Trojans won possession originally and then lost it. Viking throw in. Played a little recklessly down to the Covington goal. Cole's going to pick that one up and boot it out. Tries to play it over here to the near sidelines to Lusader. Lusader plays it towards the middle to Mandolini. Mandolini dribbles up to half court, looking for a pass. Chips it over everybody, down to Perez in the corner. See if he can outrun his guy. Can't outrun the keeper. Keeper gets the ball, and he's going to look for a pass. Maybe a throw. There's a throw.
Wow.
Down towards midfield. Jack Stewart bodies the West Vigo Viking player pretty hard, and
oh no!
Lusader
Get up! Get up!
stops the play. Gets the call. So he's going to take the free kick down the right sideline. Pinkerton's going to play it down to the corner. Past one guy, plays it short side, and it's played out. We got a corner kick. We've been talking about the possible return of Savion Waddell. He's still out. Looked like he warmed up today, but not able to play again.
I think he's got 1 or 2 more days. Yeah, I'm hoping he'll be back.
All right, so a couple more days. Wooster's out today as well. So,
Now, speaking of injuries, Rico was injured at Thursday's game at Faith Christian, but he's doing excellent out on the field today.
yeah, he's moving pretty well today. I don't see any ill effects from the injury. Shea Springer, number 13, is going to check into the game. Looks like he's going to replace 7 Jack Stewart. And the Vikings will play it out of their goal again. So we've got some Trojan pressure at this point, which is a great sign. Covington's winning most of the 50-50 balls. Played it down to the left corner, the far corner. Pinkerton's got it. Got his man backed up. Tries a little spin move, gets around him, takes it short side to the goal and just in the inside of the goal. So not for lack of effort at this point from the Trojans.
He did make it in the goal, though.
He did make it in the goal.
From the side.
Not the legitimate way, but he did make it in the goal. You are right, Mr. Stockburger. All right, goal kick played out. Springer's going to get some quick action. So ball's played to the far sideline. Look like Perez is on the chase. He's going to play it back to... Who is that? Is that Haymaker over there, Stock?
Yes.
All right, so... Trojans content to play possession in midfield at this point.
Haymaker,
which is better than the
Jacob
throwing
Holycross
train.
who just threw it in and who just headed it back.
All right, we got more throw-ins. Throw from the Trojans, right to the foot of Pinkerton. Pinkerton plays it over to the middle to Rico. Rico gets stuck, but plays it back to Pinkerton. Pinkerton gets stuck, gets it back. He's looking down to the near sideline.
Oh, no. Oh,
The West Vigo defenders make a better
that's a nice
door than a
reversal
window.
if we can do something with
Stop that one, but Trojan get it back and look at the 18, and there's a whistle. So it looks like we're going to get a free kick.
Well,
Some
we
kind
got
of
a
set
free
piece
kick,
coming for
so
the Trojans. Hopefully something they've worked on.
Let's see what we can do with it.
Looks like we've got Mandolini over there on the ball. We'll see who ends up taking it. Trojans loading the far sideline, the far side of the 18. They're going to play the touch and into the box. Header
Oh, man.
and cleared by West Vigo. So not a bad looking set piece from the Trojans, just could not capitalize. Lusaders had a hard time staying on his feet the last couple
on,
possessions. I don't know if it's slippery over here on this side or he's just not expecting the ball. Springer takes it down the right sideline, loses it out of bounds, and it'll be West Vigo throw again. Lusader and Springer back to cover this sideline, and they're going to receive the throw down towards the middle. Springer with the header towards the middle. West Vigo recovers, and they're on a break. Nice stick by Gaskell. Gaskell controls the ball. Miscue on the little pass, and West Vigo has the push again. They try a chip. Can't get it through McCarty on the back line, who gets it back up to midfield, and it's a Trojan push again. Pinkerton with the ball, looking for somebody on the left sideline. Perez down on the left side on the 18. He's going to take it on the ground, and the keeper controls, and he's going to look for a teammate to pass it to. He throws down to midfield. Great throw by the keeper. One of the few 50-50 balls that West Vigo's won at this point. Covington's really aggressive on the 50-50s. And a nice little chip played to no man's land. So Coach Sauers is not going to be happy about that one. He wants that pass on the ground, and he wants it to where his players can get to it. Number 7, Jack Stewart, checking back in for the Trojans. He's going to replace
Cheyenne Haymaker.
He's going to replace Cheyenne. Yeah, I just saw Cheyenne come off. I didn't know who else was coming off. All right, played out to half court. Gaskell with the coverage down at the Trojan defensive end. McCarty's going to get turned down there on the end, and Gaskell recovers just enough to block his man.
Oh, good job.
Looked like we were going to have an open shot on the goal there, but
Nope.
Trojans recovered just in time.
Yep, Carver Fye got in the way of that one.
All right, and Fye, you said, is a second-year soccer player?
Yep.
Is that what you were saying the other day, Stock?
He's been doing a great job for the team.
He has. He's been fun to watch. So we'll see what Covington can do right here. We got it down to Pinkerton. Pinkerton over to Lusader. West Vigo goes down to try to take the ball away from Lusader, but he maintains possession, gets it down to Rico.
Oh, man.
And just about 6 inches off on that pass, and that was a free and clear Pinkerton.
Oh, take it, Annabelle.
All right.
Man.
Covington on the push again. Gets played out. It's going to be a West Vigo throw, it looks like. Official signaling the West Vigo way. We've got a warm day out here at the Trojan Complex.
Yeah, my car said it was 95 on the way over here.
Oh my. Yeah, my car was very, very hot on the way over here.
And you know the Equinox doesn't lie.
So we got Springer and Lusader working a little two-man game down here on the sideline. We've got a water break. All right, so what are you seeing so far, Stock?
I'm seeing a lot of West Vigo possession, a lot of West Vigo turnovers, and I'm not really seeing the fire from Covington that we've seen in the past 3 games.
I think that's a really great point.
I think that could be part of the heat. It could be the fact that this is our 4th game. We're a little bit tired. We didn't get a lot of rest between Saturday's game and today.
Yeah, not a lot of recovery time, but that's the life of an Indiana soccer team, I think.
Yep. Too true.
You're playing during the week, you're playing on the weekends, there's not really a chance to rest and recover, especially after you run 80 minutes a game.
Yeah. So far, I haven't had a lot to write down in the book.
All right.
A couple attempts by Pinkerton. He's been trying so far.
Yeah, Pinkerton's had the ball. He's had a couple wide open breaks down there. Just nothing going for the Trojan offense so far. Some great balls from Perez, some great balls from Pinkerton. Mandolini threw a couple down there that were really, really nice, and nothing going.
I'd like to say that West Vigo has a good goalie, but we've kicked straight to him each time.
He has not been tested. Yeah,
No.
you're correct.
No.
He has not been tested at this point. We're putting stuff on frame. It's just not hard enough to make a dent.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the whistle. We're going to come back from that water break. So we'll change our camera angle here, and we'll get back at it. All right. Once again, nice to see the community coming out. Even though they can't get into the park, they're sitting across the street, listening to the broadcast. So shout out to everybody that listens to the CHS247 broadcast.
Hi, everyone. Wave to us.
We're on a delay, Stock, so it'll be a delayed wave.
All right, I'll look in 7 seconds.
It'll look in 7 seconds, yeah. That's just in case you say something very profane. All right, we're going to resume with a West Vigo throw-in. And taken by Mandolini. He's going to take it down to the corner and look for somebody to get it to. What a fight down there. Aggressive fight by Mandolini. But West Vigo retains. They're going to dribble it out. Pass down to midcourt. Number 10 putting a move on Jack Stewart and playing it back so they can play it forward. They're going to play it down the far sideline. Stopped by Trojans. Looks like McCarty over there on the far sideline, or the Trojan fullback. He's had quite a few stops at this point. Not really a statistic you want to see as your fullback clearing, but that's the way it's running right now for the Trojans. We need to amp the aggressiveness up to what we saw at Greencastle game and Faith Christian game, and I think we'll be fine in this one. But we're not seeing the same team to this point, Stock.
No, not at all.
No, Terry!
So Lusader, wide open. He's got a man coming. He's going to carry it down the right sideline. Plays it to the middle to Pinkerton. Pinkerton with the little slip, looking for a shot at the 18. Couldn't clear his left foot. Back to Mandolini. Mandolini's playing in the middle, dancing with his guy, and playing it back to McCarty, who's going to play it forward, down to the corner, hoping somebody can get to it. No one's going to get there, at least for the Trojans. West Vigo plays clear.
Right idea. We just didn't have our kids in the right position.
Yeah, Trojan throw in as soon as we make a substitution. Haymaker's back in for the Trojans. Number 21, Cheyenne Haymaker, going to check back in for the Trojans. Jack Stewart's going to check out. So Trojan throw in on the far sideline. And we'll see if we can do anything with this. This is red zone offense for the Trojans. We're down by the 18. Perez couldn't get the step off on the West Vigo defense.
Good job, Shy.
And there's the problem with playing so many people back on defense is that when you do clear, there's only one or two guys up front, and the Trojan defense is swarming.
Good fight. Oh, that was elbow.
So, looked like we had an arm up, but no call. Must not have touched it. Gaskell's going to bring it out. Gaskell, one of the heroes of the game the other night, played a strong sweeper.
I told Gaskell that I want to see him score a goal with his left foot tonight.
Throw in by Phi. 50-50 ball won by
He's
West Vigo.
notorious
Played
for
it
using his
just
right.
past Shea Springer. They were going to try to play the slip down to the far sideline, but no such luck. Carty was there. And the ball's going to be tousled back and forth at midcourt between the two midfields, West Vigo and Covington's midfield. West Vigo possesses. They're going to try to slip it down the right sideline again. That's a play we've seen too many times at this point. The Trojans have that one well scouted.
Come on, Gaskell.
So Gaskell brings the ball up and plays a beautiful pass down to the Trojan front line. Pinkerton's playing over on the left wing at this point, which moves Perez to the middle and Lusader staying on the right side. Mandolini just behind them, supporting the push.
West Vigo is one of those teams where their players know exactly where to be in order to mess up everything we try to do.
Yeah, that's a great point. We've tried slipping a couple passes, and they've just been right there in the way.
Yep.
Sometimes better lucky than good, Stock. All right. Trojans possess in the
That describes my whole
middle.
life.
And clear the goal. Over top left of the goal. So another missed Trojan opportunity. And that's going to put
Nick Ferrati, he's coming in
Nick Ferrati into the game.
for Shea Springer.
Another goal kick off of another Trojan missed opportunity on offense.
Oh,
And West Vigo's going to get to this one and slip it. And do not much else with it at this point. They're going to keep possession, though, looking for the middle of the field, and cleared by the Trojans. Cheyenne Haymaker plays it up, past half court, off of the Vikings, and we're going to see another Trojan substitution.
Colton Haymaker in for Annabelle Perez. Annabelle Perez. My
All right,
mistake.
so Colton Haymaker in. He's going to support the middle of the field, take Perez's spot.
I can't make any name mistakes or Trace will get on me again.
Yeah, you don't want Trace watching the video later on and then commenting in
come
your
on.
class.
Perfect time.
Oh, a nice back heel by Pinkerton. Tried to get it over to the middle of the offense. No such luck. Another one of those situations, Stock, where they just seem to be in the right place at the right time in order to clear that.
Unfortunately.
So at this point, do the Trojans look for a deeper hit maybe instead of trying to dribble it down to the 6 and take a hit? Or how do we get past this West Vigo defense at this point?
I don't know. We've tried hitting it from out and they're right there. We've tried hitting it in and they're right there.
And then we slip on some offensive
And then we
possessions.
slip.
So that's not the first slip we've seen either. That's not the first Trojan we've seen slip. Lusader's
Nope.
hit the dirt a couple times, and Pinkerton just lost his footing. West Vigo playing the push again. Trojans try to clear, but it slips off the side of the foot of McCarty and out of bounds. It's going to be a Viking throw. Trojans unable to settle that in the middle of the field, and it's just bouncing in no man's land. Covington retains possession. All right, we're going to play it up to Rico Mandolini. Mandolini plays it up to Pinkerton. Pinkerton's got Lusader in the middle. Pink's going to take it down to the corner himself and fight for the ball, and he's going to get a throw. So we're going to see another Covington substitution. Perez back into the game. Replacing Rico, it looks like, Rico Mandolini. Throw to Perez, getting some action as soon as he gets back into the game. Played out, another Trojan throw. We'll try that one again. Perez takes it at the 18 and takes a one-touch hit towards the corner, but no such luck. Keeper easily clears. All right, back to Covington in midfield. Covington kind of a lesson in futility on offense, but the great news is same story with the Vikings. Vikings unable to really do anything with the ball past midcourt. They're trying to slip it a couple times, but the Trojan defense has actually been pretty solid to this point. They get another chance. Gaskell's going to clear. Gaskell, one of those guys that surprising speed back there on defense. Covington plays it up. And this has become commonplace for the Trojans. They're going to play the push from the defensive position. So Gaskell will throw a nice pass to the forward.
Oh, man.
All right, and the foot race was on, and the keeper gets there first. So Lusader and Perez, both speedy players, just couldn't beat the keeper. All right, 50-50 ball settled by Covington, but played to West Vigo. Sloppy play for the Trojans. Much sloppier than we're accustomed to seeing at this point. But
Sloppy is a good way to put it.
we're only 4 games into the season, so it's hard to really make a judgment call. All right, Holy Cross with the play to the outside. Lusader's going to chase that one down, try to put it in the corner for himself, but just a little far. Someone's calling for goal kick, someone's calling for a corner kick. We're not really sure what's going on. Springer's going to be back in the game for the Trojans. We do know that.
He's coming out for Nick Ferrati.
Yep, he's going to replace Ferrati. And we are going to see a Covington corner kick.
West Vigo's also made a substitution.
So low driving corner kick right in front of the goal. Trojans
Yes.
finish. That's Logan Pinkerton on the goal.
Pinkerton at 18-15.
What a ball from the corner. Probably should have been finished the first time by the Trojans. But we'll take that second finish. Pinkerton cleaning up the junk in front of the goal. And the Trojans strike first. What time did you say that was on the clock stock?
18-15.
18-15, so we're halfway through the first half. And we're going to have a restart. The Vikings are going to take the restart. And Covington's beginning to amp up the physicality a little bit. They get that first goal, they feel taste a little blood in the water.
Now the flip side to that is the other team gets a little bit more angry.
Right? And this is the point where maybe you start to worry about your own scoring opportunities instead of just being content to play a 0-0 game at midfield. Maybe this is the point where West Vigo tries to think, a little urgency.
Well, that's something Sowers has always told his kids. If you get 1, you go for 2. If you get 2, you go for 3. It doesn't matter what the other team has.
Absolutely.
You just keep getting that next
You want
goal.
that snowball effect.
Yep.
And especially with an aggressive team, you get that first goal, you don't want to let up. All right, West Vigo with the ball in the middle of the court. Covington playing a lot of guys back now.
Uh-oh. Oh, good
And
job, McCarty.
cleared. Looked like by McCarty. Am I right on that? Looked like McCarty clears near side. Viking throw towards the goal.
Kick it
Covington
out.
in
Kick it out.
a
Kick it
dangerous
out.
situation right here.
Riley is hurt.
Get it out. Get it out.
Lusader's down, back up, and limping. Not a great sign for Covington. And Covington gets it out to midfield. Still not an opportunity to clear. Lusader limping around. Still faster than me on a good day.
Good.
And it'll be played out. So Covington can breathe a sigh of relief for the second. And we'll see what else the Vikings got for us, though. Throw in played towards the middle of the field. Cole will look at it over the top of the goal. He'll get a goal kick. And we can breathe easy.
Yep.
Hey, corner.
16 minutes left in the half.
West Vigo has a corner kick. We've got Coda Matillo waiting to come in.
All right, so waiting on a Trojan sub, but we're going to see what the Vikings have in the way of set pieces. Played beautifully into the middle of the goal.
Here goes
Just
Coda.
a missed opportunity for the Vikings. All
Coda's
right,
going in for Cheyenne Haymaker.
Coda's into the game. And so what's that put him at, the left halfback?
Oh, left something.
Left something. Left in, left out.
I've been keeping book for 13 years, and he has left something.
Stock, a veteran of the Covington High School program. All right,
Sowers
played up to the
Sowers
right
has been-
sideline. Lusader doesn't look too hurt. He's on the chase. And gets pushed down just outside of the 18. That could have been him falling again. He's fallen 3 times this game. Holy Cross plays it over to Springer. They got a little
Oh, that's how
two-man
you
game
play
going.
soccer.
Plays it up to Perez. Perez is going to take a hit, but blocked by West Vigo. And the keeper's going to take it.
Yeah, Sowers has been coaching 2 games more than I've been keeping book.
So you were recruited on the 3rd game?
Yep.
Who was your predecessor? Do you know?
On book, I have no idea.
Steve Hughes used to keep the book back in the day.
Okay.
Would he have been just before you, maybe?
I don't know.
All right.
Who was the coach before Sowers?
The coach before Sowers.
No? There are a couple others between them. Was it
All
Mark
right, played
Switzer?
up to Perez in the middle. Nice little flick to no one. So a little misread on that one from the Trojan offense. Ball's cleared up towards midfield. They're going to try to slip it down the right sideline again. McCarty's getting a workout down there on the far sideline. And he'll get to the ball again. And clear up to midfield. It looks like Holy Cross up there. Plays it to Coda. Coda's going to play it up to Pink. Pink at midfield, dancing. He's going to try to get it to the wing. And Lusader tries to get there, but just can't get there in time. But we're going to see another substitution.
Another water break.
And Rico's going to check on as we get a hydration break. So Mandolini back into the Trojan lineup. I did not see who he replaced. Stock's going to take a hydration break as well.
Yeah, well, mine's Pepsi.
Not a good idea for the players.
Hey, sugar is quick energy.
That's fair. That is fair. All right, so what's our reset here? We got 13 and a half minutes left on the first half. This is our second, probably final water break. Covington is starting to pick up the aggressiveness just a bit, which is nice to see. Still not near the levels that we've seen them this year, but much better than they have been for the rest of the day today.
I'm starting to think, what's the halftime pep talk going to sound like?
I don't think there's going to be much pep to the pep talk today, to be honest with you, Stock. But that's the coach of a head. That's the job of a head coach, is to point out the faults, try to correct stuff for the second half, and
We'll figure
get
it
him
out
going.
later. Jody and I are trying to figure out who was the coach before Sowers.
Well, there was a Sowers coach before Sowers. There was a Switzer coach before Sowers. And there was a Smith coach before Sowers. I would think that Mark Switzer was probably the direct predecessor.
Okay.
That's just a guess.
And then there was also Mark Wilson.
Mark Wilson started this actually as a club
He did.
way back in the day. You're talking late 90s there,
Yep.
Stock. Much
was-
before a lot of these kids were born.
He was back last fall or the fall before just to visit, and he brought out the game ball.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's great to see somebody that actually helped start the entire program and allow them to see what it's grown into.
Yeah.
So really a homegrown program at this point.
It is.
Ryan Sowers graduated from Covington High School in 2002. He played soccer. Assistant coach Keddy Sowers is a Fountain Central grad, but he's lived in Covington and worked in Covington for the last forever. Damon Haig, the JV coach, is a Covington guy. And the new assistant, James Foley, also a Covington player. Played the same position as Ryan Sowers. Played that center mid position, where they like to push maybe a little too much.
So who played it better?
Ooh, let's ask him after the game.
My money's on Foley.
Yeah. That's going to be a great argument between them. All right, so we're looking at a Covington throw on the reset. Looks like Springer's going to take it in. He's got 3 Trojans to choose from, all of them covered. And it's going to get played down to the corner. Perez is going to fight for it in the corner. He's got a Viking right on his back. He turns it back towards the Trojan defense and then cuts back towards the goal line, and it's going to be called out of bounds. And a goal kick for the Vikings. So, Stock, what's our soccer schedule look like coming up?
We have games.
On Thursday at South Milan.
Thursday we are at South Vermillion.
Okay.
Varsity's going to play, and then we have a girls' exhibition game.
Oh, awesome. And South Vermillion just got a new field, right?
And then on Saturday, I believe we have a JV game with Schlarman.
Okay. Okay. It's going to be one of those rare Illinois team games this year.
Now, of course, all of that has little asterisks by it. Everything could change at the last minute.
Doesn't everything at this point?
Yep.
So this has to make. So for those of you who didn't know, Stock is a senior class sponsor.
Oh,
just through the
follow
keeper's
through,
hands right
follow
here.
through. Get it in.
And
Yes!
Perez is able to finish. Hannibal Perez with his goal.
12.
Able to clean it up. Little celebration from Black. Not a lot. And back to one. All right. So that puts the Covington Trojans up 2-0. Let me change that score that needs to be updated. And we're going to run the webcam for now because we lost battery on the main camera.
Oh, that's fun.
Holy Cross in the middle of the field possesses. He's going to dribble it up and pass it out to the left side. That's Coda, I believe, still out there. And plays it out of bounds. West Vigo's going to have the throw. They throw it in. And McCarty's going to get some more work. He's going to dribble it out, try to get some room to clear.
Yep, those
Can't get it.
West Vigo players still getting in the way.
Man, they are in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
And West Vigo will control the middle of the field and give it away again to the Covington Trojans. Holy Cross clears it up front and to West Vigo. Bounce off their chest. And it's going to play it forward again.
Oh.
Keeper learned his lesson last time. He's going to come out on Perez. Not give him the chance to hit it to him and then finish again. All right. We got Fi over here on the sideline who won a throw. He's going to get the throw in. Played up to Perez. He's got two guys on him. And played back to Springer. Springer's going to play it to the middle of the field.
To Holy Cross.
To Holy Cross.
West Vigo takes it. Man.
So we go back to that word sloppy. A lot of missed opportunities from Covington. A lot of sloppy play. And that's what I think Coach Howard is going to address at halftime.
Yeah.
A lot of missed passes. A lot of missed reads. Not a lot of talking. It's been dead quiet from the Trojan side.
Uh-oh. Oh.
And West Vigo's going to get a score.
At 10-16.
So you play with fire long enough, you're going to get burned. So number 14 on the score for West Vigo. Let me check my handy-dandy roster. So number 14 is Lucas Hogue. He's a senior. So the West Vigo soccer team has 5 seniors. Covington fields 8. So a very experienced game right now. And the score goes to 2-1. We've still got 10 minutes left to play in the first half.
And we've seen teams that have gotten goals in like 10 seconds.
Absolutely, and we thought the Covington Trojans were going to get a goal with 30 seconds left in the game against Greencastle. Pinkerton had a shot that ricocheted off the top bar down towards the bottom of the goal and back up to the top bar. Called a no goal.
Oh, this might be it. No. Darn it.
Another missed opportunity from Covington.
Win it in the air. Good. Go, Harry. The corner, the corner.
All right, let me switch the camera back. Get us a nice image. That's black.
Well, here, I'll call the game while you're doing
Stock's going to give us the best he's got.
that. Okay. West Vigo kicked it. Bryden headed it. Out of bounds, West Vigo throw in.
That's really good stock.
Hey, Mark right here. Mark right here. Mark right here. Say holy Rico, Mark.
All right, looks like we're going to have to go back to the regular camera for now. West Vigo throw into the middle of the field. Bryden
And
Gaskell
Bryden
cuts it
gets
off.
Rico Mandolini's taking it. Passes it. Come on, take it, take it, take it. Yes!
And looks like Pinkerton's going to get another goal.
At 8:27.
So the West Vigo keeper learned his lesson, came out on the Trojans on a nice run. This time Pinkerton able to beat him. So the score goes 3-1 with 8.5 minutes left. Covington lead.
Claypool's coming in for.
Oh, Trace is in.
And Trace Claypool, not McLean, is coming into the game.
For coaching Haymaker.
And West Vigo will take the kick again. All right. And here's that Trojan mentality. Get one goal, get another one. They're right back at it. Inside the 6 with Pinkerton. Pinkerton's going to play it back out towards the middle, towards the 18. Nobody there.
West Vigo's taking it back down the field.
And it looks like the Trojan defense is going to handle this one. So Gaskell out to the sideline, to their sideline, plays it down the side, nothing. Mandolini in the middle. And gets stuck. Right to Claypool, though. Getting sloppy in the middle of the field. Both sides, both ways. Up to Springer. And played down to the goal again. And another Trojan lead that kind of goes nowhere. All right. Kick to the middle of the field again. And kind of toss it around. Nobody really having control at this point. Gaskell's going to fight for it.
No, that's Trace.
Oh, it's Trace. Trace Claypool. Or McLean, as Stock knows him.
I just call him Mick. Oh, this might be something.
Perez down fighting with the last defender. Just one defender and the keeper between him and the goal. Nothing going.
Here comes Trace.
Claypool cuts it off. Nice play.
How about that?
And the Trojans picking up the aggressiveness to end out the half.
See, this is the fire we needed 40 minutes ago.
That is very true. We're under 7 minutes to go in this half.
Oh,
Jody frustrated with that play by the Trojans.
come on, Trojans.
Played down the sideline.
Next game, Jody gets a microphone.
Shay is kicking it.
Every game, Jody gets a microphone.
Oh.
Played across the face of goal twice.
Oh.
Tried juggling and putting it in. But just on the near side. West Vigo's going to make a couple subs. So, 1 and 4 into the game for West Vigo. And if we've learned anything from the past, the keeper's probably going to boot it right to the middle of the field. And put a 50-50 ball in.
Bradley Lucy is coming in for Isabel.
And you heard Jody. Bradley Lusader's back into the game. He seems to be doing okay. Okay enough to play forward still. Keeper bringing a player over. And maybe an equipment problem. That's what it looks like. Looks like some sort of equipment problem. West Vigo maybe play a man down until he gets this figured out. Yep, that's what we're going to see. So Trojans on the push again. Middle of the field. Rico Mandolini. Back to Trace Claypool. Trace is looking for a man on the right side. Lusader's over there on the right side, plays it to him, gets played back to Claypool. Claypool tries to get to Lusader again and plays it just out of bounds.
Before Bryden graduates, he needs to teach Trace how to curve the ball in.
Bend it like Beckham,
Yep.
if you will.
Bend it like Bryden.
I think that's trademark stock.
curve it like Gaskell.
Ooh. I like that. All right, Trojans possess at midfield. Played up on the Trojan push again. Pinkerton with the ball outside the 18 again, dribbles it inside the 18 and loses it. All right, so we're expecting another goal kick.
4 minutes left.
All right, and as the clock ticks away, we've got a 3-1 Covington lead in the first half out here at the Trojan Complex. Now this is one of the first times in the game I've actually seen the Trojan offense look a little slower, maybe lost a step. They're getting a little tired up there.
Yeah.
They've been putting in the work today, though. So rightfully so.
The bad thing about that is that we don't have a lot to show for it.
Yeah, 3 goals at this point. Not nearly as many as we could have, but we probably shouldn't play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game.
Nope.
Covington with a lot of opportunities in the first half, though. I just can't capitalize on a lot of them. But 3 of them do go in. And 2 of them just complete effort on the Trojan part. If I turns his shoulder, he's going to get called for that one. So Phi, one of the last defenders between the West Vigo Viking and the goal, and saw the opportunity to put a body into the Vikings. Free kick from the Vikings, just over and to the right of the goal,
No, I call
and
that
it rolls
way
down
over.
to the cars.
I would have called that way over.
Stock far less generous than myself. And we're going to have a reset here. Jody, how much time's left on the clock?
2 minutes and 10 seconds.
We got 2 minutes left in the game, or 2 minutes left in the first half. And Covington's going to play it at midfield, and we're going to see another Trojan push. Completely different than the first half of the game. First half of the first half, anyway. Trojans were
Oh, here goes
okay
Rico.
just to play it on defense.
Oh, man.
Another Trojan effort goes for naught as Rico puts it into the keeper's stomach.
Phi almost slipped there.
Yeah, so we've noticed that. It's just on this side of the field.
Yeah.
So Luciator slipped a couple times, Pink slipped a couple times, and now Phi.
Trey.
All right, Covington down the right sideline. We'll see if they can make anything happen on this one.
Oh, are you serious?
Stock outraged.
Those are the types of kicks that really infuriate me.
We used to call those bunnies back in the day, Stock.
Wide open goal. Try to be fancy and kick it over.
Just put your toe down
Just kick it
and
in.
bump it into the goal.
Just kick it in.
Sound like Happy Gilmore. Just tap it in.
Tap it in.
So 30 seconds left until half. We'll see if West Vigo wants to push one more time or if they'll be content with just playing the ball out.
Or maybe we'll get a goal.
Well, that's why I suggested they play the ball
It
out.
all again.
So Covington with another push. And maybe the Vikings have
15 seconds.
learned their lesson this time and will take their time on putting this one back into play.
No,
Nope. They're
speeding through
going
it.
to goal kick. Straight back to the Trojans.
And Phi in the mix. Good job, Phi. Gets the ball. And time should be up. There we go.
Barring injury time. And we're good. What do you think about the first half, Stock? I know you've got to go take the book down and talk about
Oh,
first half.
one big long sigh. How about that?
I like that description. So the Trojans take a 3-1 lead into halftime. And we'll catch you when the second half resumes.
Bye, everyone.
And we're back to second half action out here at the Trojan Complex. Once again, joined by myself, Mr. Sowers, and Mr. Stockberger,
Hi, everyone.
with Jody joining us up here in the box.
Jody, say hi.
Hi.
And we're getting ready to take the kickoff. West Vigo plays it back. Looking for a place to go with it. They go to midfield and play it forward straight to the Trojans. Looks like Holy Cross in the middle. He's going to take it up, play it to the left side, the near side. Perez going to play a little flip over towards Brad Lusader. Bradley Lusader on the chase now, and it's played up and out of bounds, it looks, from at least here.
Now, over the halftime in the huddle, Coach Sowers said, we score first and mark up. Those are
that's a
two key points.
good philosophy. The Trojans are really aggressive on the 50-50 balls. We just got to make it there before they do. That's one of our big problems, is being hesitant.
Oh, man.
And the Trojans already on the attack, which is a big turn of events from the beginning of the first half.
Yeah, you can't score unless you try.
All right, West Vigo's trying to slip it down the left side on the left wing, played toward the middle, and cleared by Gaskell. Nice stick by the Trojans, and they're going to get called for it.
Now, Cody Matillo is starting this half for the Trojans.
Yeah, it's a little change of pace for the Trojan lineup. And we're going to see our first wall of this game, or semi-wall. It looks like a three-man wall. Hit it right into the wall and into the goal.
38-07.
Wall jumped, ball was on the ground. Doesn't work out well for the Trojans. It's one of those things that the ball just didn't bounce our way. So 3-2 is the score. Just at the beginning of the second half here. And we've got a special guest out here on the deck, Stock.
Who? Is it Lil Wu?
It might be Lil Wu. I'm going to hand him the microphone here in a second. And we'll get some player input on how this game's going, how the season's going.
Come on, Cody.
As soon as we get done with this push. Intensity's picking up. Covington's finally talking. So maybe that second goal by the Vikings woke him up. Mandolini gets it stripped. It's played back to Gaskell. Gaskell bodied away from the ball. Played up front for the Trojans. Nothing going, but it'll be a Covington throw. Isaiah McCarty back here on the left full. He's going to take the throw. Plays it down the sideline. Dakota. Played it down towards the middle, towards Rico. Holy Cross gets the ball, and it's stripped. Goes to the ground to get it, but retained by the Vikings and given back away to Rico. Mandolini throws it down to the middle of the field to Annabelle Perez, who is tackled from behind.
It was a push.
Looks like we're going to call an offsides on that.
Offsides? It was a push.
All right, so a good way to avoid getting a card call
I suppose.
is getting the offside call directly prior to that. We've got the cord extra long out here on the deck so we can get a guest interview. So Lusader on the far sideline on the right wing. He's going to play it towards the middle on a long arching lead, and Pinkerton just can't get there before the keeper does. So Keep's going to play it out towards the middle of the field. Headed by McCarty. Flicked by Holy Cross. Over to Coda. Coda's going to play it back to McCarty. And McCarty plays it forward to Perez. Perez is going to play it to Pinkerton. Like that little three-man game going up front with Rico, Perez, and Pinkerton. And it's, as Stock said in the first half, right place, right time for the Vikings.
Come on, Black. Reverse.
And both sides seem to have picked up the aggression a little bit. Gaskell plays a little curving ball towards midfield, which the Trojans and the Vikings are after. And kind of a tussle at midfield by both teams. When the Trojan come away from, they're going to play it down to the right corner. And Lusader on the chase. And
I'm not saying too much because I'm mad.
You're mad. Well, I mean, so am I, but I'm saying a lot. But here's somebody you can talk to. Covington Trojan, typical varsity player, off to the sideline for today. Number 16. You're 16, right? Yes. Leighton Wooster.
Yay, Leighton Wooster.
I don't even know why I'm doing this. Kind of forced me into it, but...
Introduce yourself.
I'm Leighton Wooster,
come on.
and I play midfield.
Okay, you'll have to talk loud so that I can hear.
Hey,
All right.
the ball, Black. Let's go. Right and top.
So, Lil Woo, what position do you normally play?
I usually play right mid.
Okay, and today you're not playing because?
I have a calf injury.
Okay.
How long is that supposed to be out for?
Not quite sure yet because we don't even really know what's wrong with it. So
Now, it looks like you're limping a lot on it. Does it hurt or is it just stiff?
a little bit of both. Every time you walk, it feels sharp pain. But
Okay. Well, as Mr. Partizana would say, don't walk on it.
Don't walk. Sage advice from Mr. Partizana.
Lil Woo, do you know who Mr. Partizana is?
no.
He used to be our chemistry teacher and track coach. One of the greatest guys you'll ever meet.
So, Leighton, what are you seeing in this game so far from the Covington Trojans?
Seeing an effort from him and heart. Seeing a lot of good things, but a lot of things we need to work on also.
Okay, we used the word sloppy in the first half. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. We're doing a lot of just kicking the ball around instead of
And Leighton,
playing.
to me, it looks like West Vigo always knows where to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Mark! Mark! Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
All right, Jack's going in.
Jack attack for the Trojans.
Jack.
Hey, Lil Woo,
Yeah.
when you get back in, we're going to start calling it a Wooster Bruiser.
Okay.
Good, Jay.
How'd you come up with that name?
Just how rough and tumble you are out there.
Oh,
You've been more physical this year. Have you made an effort to, be more physical compared
definitely.
to last year?
Played like a wimp last year.
So what's the difference? Just older and more confidence?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have anything to do with your sister, is it?
No.
You and she fight a lot?
Not very often, but sometimes.
And who wins?
Quick!
Oh, yes! Pinkerton at 31-30.
And the Trojans with another social distance celebration.
Is Wooster still there?
He is.
Okay, talk, Lil Woo. Tell us what you see out on the field.
I don't know.
Right now, Rico's got it. How strong do you think he is after his injury on Thursday?
Oh, I think it's better. I don't know if he's back to 100% yet, but he's definitely getting close.
Yep.
Good, Rico, good. Good, Jay. Good,
And here's Jacob Holycross. He's fighting for the ball, winning every time. Okay. Question for you, Wooster.
Yeah.
Both Coach Sowers and Coach Foley played the same position, center midfielder. Who do you think would be the better one?
Who would be better between Sowers and Foley?
Yes.
Ooh, I don't know. Well, Sowers might make me run if I pick the wrong one, so I guess I'll have to go Sowers.
And stop the clock. Okay, we've got an injury on the field. We just talked about how Rico Mandolini's playing well with his knee and he's injured. So let's hope it's just something minor
I hope.
and he can get back out on the field pretty soon. Lil Woo, what's the worst soccer injury you've ever had?
Oh, I don't know if I've really got injured before.
So
Other
you
than
would
right
say-
now, but
Yeah, so you would say your calf, right?
yeah, probably.
Boy, you need to get out more then. If you're on the field right now, Wooster, what would you be trying to do?
Try to play it, try it.
Definitely talk more. I don't see much communication going on, but it's a lot different when you're actually playing.
Yeah. Why is that? Why don't kids talk more?
I don't know.
Are they looking too much at their feet, not looking at their teammates?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably most of it.
West Vigo's got the ball again, but Bryden Gaskell kicks it downfield. Annabelle's going after it and fighting for it. West Vigo kicks it out. Covington throw in. Oh, I see what he was trying to do. Covington threw it in. Isaiah headed the ball to the right of the goal. I think he was trying to set it up for Pinkerton, but the goalie came out and got it. We've got about 27 minutes left in the game.
All right, let's thank Leighton Wooster for being on the broadcast today. Reluctantly, but still on the broadcast. It's nice to see and hear some player insight every now and then. Trojans talking a little more than they were in the first half. Dead silent in the first half, though, so not really hard to beat. Claypool back into the game for the Trojans. Looks like he's going to replace Haymaker.
Yep, Cheyenne Haymaker.
Springer over here to throw it in. Short throw to Pinkerton. Pinkerton's going to play it towards the middle of the field. Looks like over to Bradley Loosader. Loosader heads it towards the middle of the field, and nothing doing but a great run for the Trojans there. So Trojans attacking a little more. Lead not as comfortable now at 3-2. West Vigo's definitely picked up their intensity as well. Definitely not as many people back as they had in the first half. They were playing 5 to 6 guys back in the first half. And now they're only playing that when Covington's on a push. And Pinkerton hits one from just outside the 18, just wide left.
Water break.
We got a water break on the field. So we'll take a little water break ourselves. Or a Pepsi break if you're stock. Not sponsored by Pepsi.
Are we sponsored by Ice Mountain?
Ooh, that'd be nice. All right.
Are we muted?
So what are we saying, Stock? How's this half going compared to the first half? 26 and a half minutes left in the second half.
I am just going to say, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. OMG from Stock. Oh my goodness.
This is what I would have expected from game 1 of this season.
Okay.
Because it looks like we are struggling to figure out what to do.
Right. And maybe it's the loss of Leighton Wooster on the field, why the team looks in chaos sometimes. They're used to that stabilizing force at the halfback position. Savion Waddell, he'd like to talk too, but he's not up here. Also missing Savion. When are you coming back, Savion? So according to Savion, this is the last game that he will miss. I am going to write that down, and we will fact check it upon the next game. So you'll be able to play Thursday? Okay, so Thursday away at South Vermilion will be the debut of Savion Waddell for the 2020 Trojans. But anytime you lose somebody to injury, no matter what the role that player plays, it's pretty devastating. All right.
Is he our new referee?
Who, Scotty?
Yeah, when did he get his referee license?
I'll give Scotty a referee license whenever he wants one. There's never been a referee more for the Trojans than Scotty.
Don't let Amy hear you say that.
Oh, that's true. Amy, if you're listening to the broadcast, hello and welcome.
Hi, Amy.
I'm going to...
And just for Amy, I want to dance with somebody who loves me.
Well, that's right.
She
Amy.
loves that song.
Amy, of course, one of Covington's biggest supporters.
Not one of, the
Biggest supporter. She deserves a plaque as well. If Jody's going to get one, then Amy should get one too, right?
Yep. On a regular year, she is at every game cheering on every player.
This is true. This is very true. All right, so the long ball works for the first time for West Vigo this game. They play it down the right sideline. Covington with a hard challenge. And it's played out of bounds. Trojans will avoid disaster. Excuse the shoddy camera work. Trying to get a better angle so you guys don't see the ledge the entire game.
Yeah, Trace, it's a webcam. We're doing our best.
Yeah, the battery died on the big Nikon camera. So we are on a Logitech 922.
Oh!
And another break for the Trojans.
Oh, man.
And lose the ball outside the 18.
But we bring it right back in. Annabelle's got it. And I have no idea where he was kicking it.
Well, it went in the right direction. Just not as controlled as we would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so approaching the 20-minute mark, I'm assuming. 25 minutes left in the half. Covington content to play it at midfield right now. And West Vigo's going to do a little run of their own, a little back break. Ball coming down the left sideline.
There's 3 Trojans.
And Covington takes it away from him. Big gap in the midfield. Trojans passing to the man instead of space at this point, but they get it up to Pinkerton. Pinkerton plays it left side to Perez. Hannibal hits it back
And not
to
much you can do
Pinkerton,
there.
but taken away from the Trojans. Not from any particular player, just the Trojans in general. Phi throws another shoulder. Trying to body up his man over on the far sideline. Number 13 goes down. And that'll be a whistle, a stop of play, and a free kick.
Come on, Troach. That whole sequence I would have called a comedy of errors.
Well, I don't think that's an actual soccer call. I think maybe play on. Play on due to comedy of error. Trojans playing in spurts tonight. So they look really flashy and really good in short spurts. And then it's very messy. And the passes just aren't falling in other spurts. So it's hard to tell what team is actually on the field at any point.
Too many turnovers for us.
A lot of turnovers. And many of them unforced. So
Yeah.
just ball control errors off the side of the foot. Ball played up to the near side to Perez. He's got one coming. Looks like Springer coming up the left side. Couldn't get the pass to him.
Quit playing with it.
Jody upset that Perez is dancing with the ball. Played up to Pinkerton. He lost it, looked like. Going to play it over his shoulder. Header forward to Lusader. Lusader on a dead sprint. Can't make it there.
No.
So maybe the Trojans overestimating Lusader's speed a little bit.
Well, remember, he had that issue the first half.
He did. He did. I'm not seeing any limps or anything like that, but you never know if that affects top speed.
Yep. Maybe still some tightness. I don't know.
Very, very possible. And that's a ball that not many people get to be fair.
Yeah.
All right, Trojan defense comes up with the block. And played out as fast as we can possibly get it by McLean. Springer with the header up to Perez. Right idea. Execution not there. Pinkerton regains the ball and plays it towards the goal. Too far for everyone that time. The Flash couldn't have made it to that one.
Wonder Woman could have.
Throwing the flag.
Only in the invisible jet.
Okay, we'll have to wait till October 2nd to see if Wonder Woman can do anything.
Let's hope.
Trojans get another whistle on them. They're going to have to be careful. That's quite a few whistles adding up against the Trojans. I'm sure there's been verbal warnings issued. So the Trojans have to tread lightly at this point. We're going to see a free kick from near half court. And we'll see it times two. Nice stick by the Trojans. Was that Holy Cross?
No, Colton. Haymaker.
All right, Colton Haymaker with the stick in the middle of the field.
Okay, here we go.
Playing up right to Lusader. And you might be right on that top speed, Stock. As Lusader couldn't get to that ball. But once again, played a little too far.
Yeah. Oh, there's a nice kick from McLean.
And Colt.
Yeah, Haymaker with a little swing pass over to the right side. Lusader gets to that one. Got control of the ball. Got one defender on him, taking him one-on-one. Plays it to the middle of the field. Pinkerton tries to flip it up and see if there's a Trojan in the area, but no such luck.
Here goes Claypool.
Claypool one-on-one on the West Vigo offensive player, who plays it back and then back towards the front line. West Vigo's right halfback plays it down to the 18, and McLean will come out and get that one. McLean a little more aggressive than he has been in the last couple games.
Yes. I think in this game you have to be.
Absolutely. He's coming out of the 6 a lot more, being a lot more aggressive on a challenge close to the 18. And sometimes that's the best way to take away an offensive possession from the other team. Is just be aggressive, get to the ball first, and don't let them get that second chance.
Yeah. And with McLean, a goalie has to do two things: stop shots on goal and play his position. And sometimes those aren't the same. Like the move he just did, that was playing his position. He had to come out, catch the ball, and get it back in play.
Absolutely. Trojans with a late challenge on that one. Pinkerton flicks the ball forward with his head. Haymaker on the chase, but can't get to it. Ball played on the sidelines. West Vigo got the ball over here against Shea Springer. Springer's got the body on the offensive player for the Vikings. And we'll get a whistle. Maybe a throw in for the Trojans. A substitution or two. We've got Coda and Rico back in for the Trojans. Going to replace Pinkerton and Springer. Throws to the middle of the field. Played back to Rico Mandolini. Plays it to the middle of the field. Header for the Trojans, and the keeper comes away with it. What a play by the keeper. Kept his eyes on the ball and just snatched the ball away from the Trojan offense.
I feel my inner Ron Santo starting to come out.
We are on a delay, so let me know if you're going to use any not safe language, Doc.
Does it count if it's in French?
It still counts. You have to say pardon my French.
Okay.
All right. West Vigo possesses at midfield. Covington not really challenging. All right. Annibal plays it forward. Keeper comes forward. Can't use his hands. He's out of the box, so he clears it with his foot. And
West Vigo takes it.
West Vigo will take it again.
This is frustrating.
This is very frustrating. Any game that's primarily played at midfield is frustrating for both sides, especially with only a 1-goal lead at this point. So score once again 3-2 Trojans.
17 minutes left.
17 minutes left. The clock ticking down. Trojans probably need to try to add another one just for insurance at this point.
Yeah.
We saw how quickly that West Vigo can strike. So the Trojans need to add a little bit of insurance. Pinkerton back into the game. He'll go back to his spot up top as the Trojan defense is struggling to clear. And we'll get a whistle. Not getting an indication what it was for. Could have been a handball, could have been a body. We're not really sure. All of those things were true. Just not sure what he called on it. So West Vigo is going to take another free kick from quite a bit out. Puts a nice hit on goal.
Yeah, Gaskell was able to head that out.
That's one of those free kicks you're not expecting to have your sweeper have to head out. Well, foot race is on. Pinkerton pulls up. Probably a smart move instead of running into the keeper to pull up a little shy on that one. Once again, ball's at midfield. Coach Sauer screaming instructions from the sideline.
Oh, that's a good pass.
Great ball played forward, but West Vigo once again in the right place, right time. Okay, the Vikings hold, play to the right side. And it's up to Covington again. Rico Mandolini over here on the left sidelines. He's going to try to play it in as fast as possible to avoid the substitution. But Cheyenne Haymaker comes in for the Trojans. Going to replace Trace Claypool, it looks like. So number 3 will take a seat. Number 21 will be in. And Rico's going to play the ball back to McCarty. McCarty, who had a lot of work in the first half, plays it up.
Handball.
It looked like a
That
handball.
was handball there. I think it was unintentional, but you got to call it.
That's right. Trojans will scream set and go. Not give the Vikings time to recover, but there's been enough time elapsed. The Vikings have recovered and set their defense. Pinkerton plays a little chip shot down to the 18.
Oh!
Side officials calling offsides. But the center judge is going to let that one play on. Nope, he's going to call offsides. So the keeper's going to set it and kick it out. Plays it short to the left side. And they're going to keep the ball on the ground, play it to midfield. And Covington steps in the way. Holy Cross steps in the way again. And a call against the Trojans. West Vigo's going to set it from nearly the same location as earlier. So Stock, do they take a hit again?
It's COVID. Who knows?
2020. The COVID season.
Besides, I'm texting my mom right now.
Shout out to Stock's mom, who is an avid listener of the History Buffet, Stock's podcast.
History Buffet with Joey and Stock. Joey is still editing our most recent episode. Okay, that was 14. Still no indication when that's going to be out. He's getting closer to having it done, though.
All right, taking another water break. And that's a great time to talk about that. If you've never listened to the History Buffet with Mr. Stockburger and former Covington middle school teacher, Mr. Joey Holt, it is a pleasure to listen to. You learn something about history. You learn French facts from Stock, who is a master of 3 languages.
Well, let's say 2.5.
Well, master of 3 languages.
Okay, master of 3 languages.
We're,
Frank said it, so it's true.
we're selling the History Buffet here, Stock.
Oh, right.
And Joey, who is a genius when it comes to history,
Absolute genius.
especially Russian history,
American history.
American history. He is a wonderkind.
Don't tell him that, though.
Hopefully he's listening to the stream. Do we have a guest speaker? Oh, a resounding no comes from the doorway. Have you had a chance to listen to the History Buffet?
Oh, please, listen to the history.
America's fastest growing podcast on
Yes.
Spotify and Apple Music.
Get in on the ground level.
Bring back the memories from 7th grade history class.
Yes.
Tyler, are you going to talk on the thing?
No.
There's Hallie. She's already promised to talk on the broadcast today.
Smash
So
that like
come
button.
on in.
Problem is,
Come
I
on
don't
in.
know anything about soccer enough to like actually.
Well, we can ask you questions. Come on in.
Tyler, you want to talk
La-
about it with me?
Layton's already been on here.
Yeah,
Tyler will
Layton's
talk.
been
Here you
on
go.
there.
What?
Here you go. You can share a headset.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Ew.
Is it live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So what's your role with the Covington Trojan soccer team, ladies?
Press start. Oh, we're managers. The best ones so far.
What are your responsibilities as managers?
We have to put up the corner flags, put up the American flag, and make sure the scoreboards and stuff are turned on, set up cones, make sure they all have water, film. Yeah.
And
Hallie
this-
controls everything.
Yeah, this year with all the COVID stuff, you have to make sure everyone's got their own water bottle.
Yeah,
and
separate
keep all that
bottles,
straight.
gloves when we give them water. Ew, I hate hearing that. Gross.
So basically, you guys are doing about 10 times the job that Layton's doing today.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He promised us a half of filming, and he definitely only gave us like
Half
a
of a
quarter.
half.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they do more than what Layton does on most days.
Well, that's
That is true.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think about the game so far? Give us your expert opinion as manager of the Covington Trojan soccer team.
As an expert,
Expert.
I don't know. I'd say they're playing pretty good. I think I could see a little bit more effort, but for right now, I don't think they're doing too bad.
All right.
How hot is it down on the field?
Oh, it's pretty warm. In the shade, it's nice, but in the straight sun, I'm sweating. It's gross.
Well, thank you for the dynamite drop-in, ladies.
Yay!
You're absolutely welcome.
All right, so we've heard from the Covington starting right halfback, and we've heard from the Covington managers and the Covington scorekeeper and Jody.
Yeah.
They're making the rounds tonight. So score is still 3-2.
12 minutes left.
12 minutes left. Kind of a lesson in futility for this half.
Jody, who's going to win?
Covington.
Jody gives his stock answer of Covington going to win, and I am okay with that. Still like to have that other goal, that fourth goal.
Yep.
What happened to the fourth goal?
Well, we need to get that fourth goal, Jody.
So
We'll get
it's
some
only 3?
insurance. Is it?
Oh. No, we're right. It's 4-2.
It's 4-2.
He's
Just
saying
hasn't gotten added.
We need another goal so that we can be up by 4.
Yeah, up.
All
I
right.
think. I don't do math.
Oh,
That's why you're a language teacher, Stock.
Yep.
So, Stock, you have a new class offering this year that we haven't talked about on air. Would you like to share what that is?
It is The Bible is Literature. This is a state-authorized English course, and we take a look at the Bible and its literary form. It contains narratives, histories, poems, songs, just about everything except for drama.
Oh, there's plenty of drama from it.
Well, yeah, that's true. In the literary term, drama means plays.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a really exciting offering. So what does that count as? Does that count as a just general elective?
Yeah, it's a general elective English class.
Okay.
It's been going fairly well. For me, it started off kind of rough because I've never taught anything like this before. It's new text. Getting through that first week, I saw how everything needs to fit together, so this week started a lot smoother.
So a brand new class offering from Stock. Another reason the History Buffet podcast is a little late. All right, a couple scares down at Covington's end. Nothing too threatening at this point. The Vikings will take another throw in on the far sideline.
Have you started a new class, or was that last year?
We do have a new offering. We have a Computer Science 2 offering now. So that puts me to Computer Science 1, Computer Science 2, Web Design, Radio, TV, Film, and Personal Finance.
And where do you build the robots?
That is Computer Science 1.
Okay.
And according to the PLTW coursework, we can't call them robots anymore. They are SDVs because of the gendered connotation of robots.
I was not aware that there was a gender.
Because when you use the word robots, it's typically associated with males.
Really?
Yeah, well, that's what PLTW says. And we're trying to get as many females into the field of computer science as we can.
Yeah.
So if this is one of the steps that we have to do to accommodate that, that's just one of the things we have to do to accommodate that. So we call them SDVs. We call them self-driving self-driving vehicles, not robots. And we get to program them and make them do all kinds of cool things.
You could call them SJDs.
SJDs.
Social justice droids.
Ooh, I thought we were going to go social distancing.
We could do that.
The SDVs must stay 6 feet apart. So, unique world we live in.
Yeah. But what does PLTW mean?
PLTW is Project Lead the Way, and it is basically just course framework that allows you to adopt certain courses. So the actual course that our CS2 is called CSA, and it is an AP course. So it's basically a freshman level college programming course where our kids are learning Java. And by the end of the year, we do some pretty interesting and complex things. So by the time they're done, we can take an AP exam. Big hit from outside by Pinkerton outside the 18. Goes just high of the bar.
It hits the back bar.
Yeah, it does hit the back post. Perez is going to check back in. Replace Springer. So we've got some exciting things going on there. Radio TV is just getting started. You'll see us again tomorrow at the volleyball game.
Well, not me.
Well, you will if you're going to watch our broadcast.
Oh, well, that's true, yeah. Who does the volleyball broadcast with you?
It'd be yours truly. Perez on the run. The keeper gets to it again. Keeper's getting a lot of work for West Vigo.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, we had a great help from Mrs. Robin Brown last game. She ran the camera and the score as I had to do another meeting. So she ran the whole broadcast for us.
Good
So
for her.
big shout out to Mrs. Brown.
She does a lot from her office.
She really does. She is one of the unsung heroes at Covington.
But she's the secretary for the Wabash Valley Conference.
Absolutely. And you know, the more you look around Covington, the more you see those unsung heroes.
Yep.
People that go the extra mile, put in the extra effort, even though they're not asked to or not expected to. That's just a great example of that.
We should start a Covington trophy or plaque or award for that.
The Trojan Trophy,
Oh, that's good. Trojan Trophy.
I like it. Let's make this happen.
I nominate Amy as our first recipient.
And every subsequent recipient. So we've got a West Vigo player down. He slowly gets back up, but you can tell he's in pain.
He says he's okay.
He's going to try to walk it off,
Looks like it's his calf.
try to stay in the game. Light jog. I think we're going to be okay. So if you'd like to give a shout out to our trainer at this point, Stock, I know you like doing that.
Oh, our trainer, Dan. He's a great guy from New Jersey. First thing I asked him was, is New Jersey anything like Snooki and whoever else was on that show?
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Oh my.
And he said, well, there are a couple blocks, couple streets, but overall, no.
Well, that's good news. It's good news for the world, I
Yes.
think.
Jack Stewart coming back.
And Jack Stewart's back in with
for Jacob Holycross.
just under the 6-minute mark. 5:58 left in the game.
You know, for Dan's program, he works for the school for our sporting events. And in the spring, we didn't have any because of the COVID shutdown. His program actually reworked his responsibilities, and he worked for the hospital in Crawfordsville doing the drive-through COVID tests.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and he's been a great resource for the athletes here at Covington.
Yeah.
Kids really take to him.
Yeah.
He does a great job.
Blaine's the second trainer we've had with this program. Our first one, wait, did I say Blaine or Dan?
You did say Blaine, but he was the first one we had with this program.
Dan is the second trainer we've had. Blaine was the first one. Both of them have been great guys.
Yes, we've had excellent luck with our trainers recently.
Yeah.
Both very knowledgeable guys, very down to earth, can really relate to the students.
Yeah, that's important.
That is huge in that position. Gets our kids back out on the field, but safely.
Yep.
So, big shout out to the training program and Dan specifically.
You're caught up in my cord.
I'm caught up in your cord. There we go. We need to go wireless, Stock. I think. I'll bring those out next time.
That's on you.
All right, so 4-2. Covington plays it to the outside. West Vigo's going to win this. And it's played off of Coda for a West Vigo throw.
Question for you, Craig.
Yes.
Can I put sportscaster on my resume now?
I don't see why you wouldn't. Professional sportscaster. Master of 3 languages. Runs a podcast.
Award-winning quilter.
I would say award-winning podcast. I'll give you that plaque.
All right. I'm there. I'd like to thank Craig, Joey, and Danny.
There we go. There we go. The trifecta, the big three.
Should I thank Kelsey too?
I think you probably should, just for the ideas.
Okay, she likes it when we give her a shout out.
So if you haven't had a chance, the History Buffet, all major streaming podcast platforms. I listen to it on Spotify. I know it's also available on Apple Music and a couple other streaming platforms.
Google Podcasts, SoundCloud.
Google Podcasts, SoundCloud. So anywhere you can find quality material,
The History Buffet
you
is
can
there.
find the History Buffet. Another whistle, and it's going to go Covington's way this time. So after a series of whistles against the Trojans, they get a call, and we're going to see a free kick.
3 minutes left.
Pinkerton with his hand up down here on the left sidelines. He wants to pass. Perez with his hand up in the middle. He wants to pass.
And West Vigo gets the pass.
And 50-50 ball goes to West Vigo, but Pinkerton regains. Going to hit a play on, and we're going to get a stoppage and a free kick. Great effort by Pinkerton there down on the 18. Tripped and still went for the ball, knowing that he'd get the play on call if he could get to it.
I'm not sure if he tripped or if it was a partial push.
Oh, he was tripped.
Oh,
ED.
I see what you're
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, this is one of the few times where we didn't stumble over our feet. So Pink takes it towards the goal.
The beautiful kick, though.
Nice hit. Maybe 2 feet higher and a little to the right, and he would have had that one in the corner. But great shot for what he had.
Well, what was that?
We got a whistle. They're going to try to set and go as fast as they can on this before
Good job,
Covington
Jack.
can
Jack
do
Jack.
anything.
Come on, Pink. Come on. Come on, Pink. Oh.
Pinkerton gets another hit, but right to the keeper.
Everything's been right to him.
It's that bright yellow jersey. It attracts the ball. The human highlight. All right, Covington fullbacks given a chase, and they'll avoid disaster for now. All right, so Covington playing
1:15 left.
1:15 left. Covington playing everybody but 3 players in the box, trying to keep this score out of there. Actually, Perez coming back to the near the 18, going to check the situation and walk back towards half. Keep Lusader and Pinkerton up here at midcourt. Everybody else is going to be playing back to avoid that goal.
Here goes Gaskell with the free kick.
Low driving free kick down the left side. Pinkerton's going to dribble towards the middle.
To Lusader.
Plays it up to Lusader, but taken away by West Vigo. Played in the middle of the field. Missed opportunity by Covington, but cleared.
Now, Phi went for that one, but Jack got it.
19 seconds.
19 seconds. All right.
Oh, come on.
So we're
kids.
seeing a lot of just kicking the ball at the midfield now.
Come on. 2 on. 2 on. Come on, Shy. Good.
Shy plays it up the sideline. And that'll be the final whistle. Stock, what's our takeaway from today?
Takeaway is we're either really tired or we're not thinking.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Had a game Saturday during the day.
Yeah.
Played very, very hard, very aggressive on Saturday.
Yes.
Maybe just haven't recovered to this point.
Possibly, yeah.
But the Trojans take the victory anyway. Moved to 4-0 on the season. Play Thursday night against South Vermilion at South Vermilion.
Yep.
But if you'd like to join CHS247, we will be at the volleyball game tomorrow night. JV game starts at 6
Against West Vigo.
Varsity to follow. So we're looking at going live around 7 o'clock. Maybe a little later. We'll get the Trojan bow and then we're going to end our broadcast. Once again, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Stock, for helping out.
Always a pleasure. I enjoy it.
And I think that's it from the Trojan Complex. Trojans win 4-2, advance to 4-0 on the season, and we will see you next time.